Hello, this is Rusty Williamson with another very interesting tutorial. I was looking for flames like this, large bubbling flames licking in the air, and I couldn't find any way to make them in After Effects. I searched all the tutorials, I searched my books, nothing. And I finally figured it out. And it's kind of a weird way to do it, but I'm sure someone else has done it. Anyway, so we've got bubbling flames, we've got little flames licking in the air, dancing off. Alright, let's get to it. Do File, New. Oops. Should try to stop this first. Okay, so it's going to give me a bad time. Sorry, I have a solution. Now we'll do File, New Project. New composition, 1920 by 1080, 24 frames a second, 10 seconds long. And then we'll add a solid to it, same size as the comp. Black is fine. We'll call this particle. And then we'll add an effect to it called CC Particle Systems 2. We'll advance the frames a little bit so we can see what we're doing. Then we'll go over here to the properties and go into the producer properties. And we will set the producer to be near the bottom of the screen. Actually, I want to set the producer just below the screen, like so. We'll increase the radius to 10. That's radius X to 10. And we're done with the producer. Then we'll go into the physics, change it from explosion to fire. We'll set the velocity to 0. We'll bring down the gravity until we have it just in the frame. Till we have all the particles in the frame. Like so. We'll go to resistance and add a little resistance to bring it in just a little more, just a tiny bit more. We don't want it going off the top of the frame. And then we'll take the extra and reduce it to bring it in so it looks more like fire. Maybe like so. Done with physics. Next we go to particle. We'll change it from line to faded sphere. We'll up the birth size just a little, say 0.31 maybe. And let's see what we've got. I think that looks pretty good. We might come back and adjust it a little more. But for now, pain in the ass. Alright, where was I? We want to bring the size variation. I think the depth size is good right where it's at. But let's bring the depth size variation up to 100. I want lots of licking flames off the top. So this doesn't look too much like fire yet. But we're not really after the particles themselves, we're after the alpha channel. You'll see in a minute. Alright, we'll create a new solid, call this noise, and we'll put the effect on it, Fractal Noise. We'll change the fractal type from basic to dynamic progressive. Then we'll open up the transformation section. Get at frame 0 right here. And set a keyframe. Then we'll go to about the middle of the composition, timeline, and we will raise our fractal noise upward a couple of pages. Let's say to a negative 500, somewhere in there. Then we'll hit U to bring up the keyframes we've just created. We'll Alt-click on stopwatch and enter loop out. That's with a capital O. Open paren, open quote, offset, double quote, close paren, and click out. Now let's see what we've got. We want our fractals moving upward at about the same speed that our particles are, and right now this is too slow. So the reason we did all of this loop out and everything was so that we could kind of create a slider to adjust the speed. If we bring it in, it goes faster. If we bring this out, it goes slower. I want to make it faster, so I'm going to bring it in kind of tight right there. Let's take a look at what it looks like. That looks somewhere in the neighborhood. We'll leave it there for now. Next thing we want to do is we want to animate the evolution, and we'll just Alt-click on the evolution and type in time times 350 and click away. Now let's see what we've got. Alright, before we go further, let's take our noise layer and drag it down below the particle layer. Now we can sort of see the particles. Now let's see what it looks like all together. Close enough for now. We'll know in a moment. Next thing we need to do is take the noise track mat and set it to alpha matte particle. Now let's see what we have. Now we're getting closer. Next thing we'll do is we'll add an adjustment layer above this. And to that adjustment layer, we'll add a coloring device, a coloring effect. I'm going to use Color Vibrance by Video Copilot. It's just the simplest way to do it. But you can color it using hue saturation or any other method. We just want to color it the color of fire. And right in there, I think. Now let's see what we've got. Now we're getting there. Oh, After Effects, come on, behave. Alright, the next thing we want to do is we want to add a little wiggle to it, just a little bit. So we're going to add to the adjustment layer another effect called Turbulent Displace. We're going to set the amount down to about 20. Now let's see what we've got. Make sure we haven't ruined it. No, I think that's just about perfect. Thought I'd lost it for a minute. Alright, where are we? The next thing we want to do is pre-compose all of this. So choose all the layers and do Control-Shift-C. And we'll call this Fire Element. Click on OK. Now we want to add an effect called a Bezier Warp. And what we're going to do, let's go out here, is shape it more like fire. Maybe like so. Maybe bring it out a little down here. Maybe bring it in a little bit at the bottom. Let's click away and see what it looks like now. Better. Alright, next thing we're going to do, final thing we're going to do, I think, is duplicate this layer, call the bottom one Glow, and add Glow Effect. Now let's solo this for a minute. Alright. And there we go. We have the fire I was looking for. Or something like it. I could put smoke above it and even in it, and but that's for another tutorial. But it's I make smoke the same way I made this, by using the particles to give me my alpha channel for the fractal noise. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and if you have any comments, please leave them below. Thank you.